Hi, welcome to another one of Darren's bass lessons at www.darrengloverbassandguitarlessons.com. Today we're going to have a look at jazz standards and how I learn a jazz standard and approach to memorising jazz standards and learning your way comfortably around one. I've chosen the tune Blue Bossa by Kenny Durham, which you can find on this album here, Joe Henderson. Fantastic album. It's great to listen to that. So I'm going to look at getting around the chords first, around the harmony of the tune and just how I memorise the harmony. And the first part really is learning the song by listening to it, so learning what it's about, learning how it sounds, learning how it goes, becoming familiar with the song without an instrument. And then obviously you're going to have to get hold of the chord sheet, which luckily is on my website, www.darrengloverbassandguitarlessons.com. On the PDF page there, you can download for free the Blue Bossa lesson which goes along with this. It's got on the melody, and that's the tune. It's got the chord sequence on there. It's got the chord voicings on the bass, which I put on the bass as well. And obviously we're going to have a look at the bass soloing aspects of this as well. So here goes, I'm going to jump straight in. I've got a pre-recorded backing track to this, and I'm just going to play through the root notes of the piece first. I'll name the root notes as I go through and the chords as we go through the piece so you can hear where they change. And I hope you can hear what this is about just by starting with root notes. I'll then move on to the fifths, and then we'll talk about the rhythm of the bass part as well, because this is called Blue Bossa. It's a bossa nova, which is a Brazilian type rhythm. So here goes. So there's a C minor to the F minor 7th, and to the D minor 7 flat 5, G7 flat 9, and 2 bars of C minor 7. E flat minor 7, A flat 7, D flat major 7th, D minor 7 flat 5, G7 flat 9, C minor 7, then to the D minor 7 to the G, then with a fifth. So I'm putting the fifths in there now. The fifth of every chord. D minor 7 flat 5. Major 7th, D minor 7 flat 5, C minor 7, turn around, put the octaves in. Again. Passing notes. It. And what I would do there, I would practice along to the album, or get a YouTube clip of the song up on there, and just keep practicing that harmony around and around and around all the time with the root notes and the fifths and the octaves, really getting to where the chords change and listening to those changes until I really know it. After that then, sometimes I would look at the harmony, so I'd look at the chord voicings, but I would also look at the melody as well. So the next thing I'm going to choose is the arpeggios, the chord voicings for the piece of music. So the voicings, we've got the first chord, which is C minor 7th, which will play a C minor 7 arpeggio. So they're the basic notes which make up that first chord of the piece. Now I don't necessarily use all those in the bass line, but they are there. So I'd learn it all through on the arpeggios, so I'll show you how I do that. So you have I'll start on the D minor 7 flat 5 now. G7. C minor 7, E flat minor 7, A flat 7, D flat major 7th, D minor 7 flat 5, G7 flat 9, C minor 7, and then back to the beginning, I missed that before, C minor 7. on and on. So then now that I know that I've got the chord voicings after a lot of practice, I can start to incorporate some of the notes in there. But let's just go back to those voicings or arpeggios again. So really slowly. So we've got in the C minor 7, we've got the root note, which is the C on the 3rd fret, to the E flat, to the G on the 5th fret, and then the 7th, which is the B flat. So 1, minor 3rd, 5th, 7th. And then we've got that exact same finger shape again up on the F, or down on the F in pitch. And then we've got the D minor 7 flat 5, which is here. So we've got the minor 7th arpeggio again, but we don't put that 5th in there. The 5th is flattened. And that's to do with the key that we're in. And then the G 7th, which is a flat 9, but we're not getting up to the flat 9 yet. We're just up to the 7th. And back to the C minor 7th. And then we're up into the key of D flat now. So we've got the E flat minor 7th, which is 1, minor 3rd, 5, 7 again, that same shape. And then we've got the A flat 7th, which is dominant, 1, 3, 5 with the dominant 7th there. And then the D flat major 7th arpeggio, D minor 7th, flat 5, G7, C minor 7th. So I would then obviously practice around on the arpeggios, and I would incorporate some of those into my bass line. So I'll start that again. Round and round on that. So if you can just keep practicing incorporating those arpeggios in there nice and slowly until you really get them under your fingers. And then from there we have the bass chords as well, or the chords to the piece, which we can play in the bass guitar. So we've got most of the voicings are using the PDF. If you look, it'll be the root note on the E string, the 7th, and then we've got the minor 3rd there like that. So we've got the C minor, bit back, pick up, F minor, and the D minor 7 flat 5, use the same voicing because there's no 5ths in there. The G7 then, I've got the G here, the 3rd and the 7th. We can't put the 3rd and 5th on at the same time on the same string, so I just choose the 3rd. Back to the C minor 7th. And then I've got the E flat minor 7th. Same voicing again, all in a line, all on fret 11 there, just not using the A string. And then the A flat 7, I use this voicing again, 1, 3, 7. Now the D flat major 7th is a D flat. Now we've not got the dominant 7th, we've got the major 7th, which is 1 semitone up, which is C natural, and then we've got the 3rd on top there, so that's on fret 9, 10 and 10. And then to get to D minor 7 is really easy, just move that finger up and then you're back. So you can practice getting around on the harmony there as well. We'll just have a quick look at that. So once you've got all that under your fingers, it's really looking at the groove of the piece then. So I mentioned before about learning about the rhythm, the bossa nova rhythm, which is, if I give you the pulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, dum, 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 dum. So we've got the root note, which we do on the first chord will be the C, C, G, G, C, G, G, F, C, C, F, C, C. That's the most basic way of doing it. So develop on that, then you can put the chord tones in. Don't have to use them all. You know, and then you can develop that again and just keep working on that until you really get this piece on the skin. That's the most important part for a bass player of any piece of music, is the rhythm, the harmony and the groove. Learning where all the notes are before you get into the soloing and playing the melody. But the melody is equally important, and the melody I'm going to demonstrate in the next video. So this is the first video on this piece of music on my approach to a jazz standard. The second video is going to be looking at bass soloing and the melody to the piece. So take that away, practice, practice like mad on that actually. It doesn't come straight away, it takes a lot of work to get into your system. Listen to it loads, listen to all the different versions that people play of this. You might hear it in the swing version, or you might hear it like this is in the Bossa Nova version, lots of different versions of this. But it's just getting your fingers around the fretboard over a jazz standard, and this particular jazz standard, Blue Bossa, and feeling really comfortable with it. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and do check out more of my lessons on www.darrengloverbassandguitarlessons.com, and don't forget to click subscribe at the end of this video to subscribe to more videos just like this one. So thanks very much for listening, guys. I'm Darren Glover. Hi guys, welcome to another one of Darren's bass lessons at www.darrengloverbassandguitarlessons.com. Also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is where you're watching this right now, and just click the subscribe button either at the end or below. Today we're going to look at Blue Bossa. This is the second part of the lesson, looking at the actual melody of the piece. So there's the melody there. You can check out this on my website. We've got the PDF. I did play it a tiny bit different at the end there. But if you check this out on the PDF, the finger positions are on there in tablature as well as in notation as well. The melody is a really important part of the piece to learn, because it gives you a really good idea of how the piece is put together. It gives you great ideas of creating the bass line and using the correct notes of the bass line. And it also, for when you get to take your bass solo, referencing the melody is a really important thing to do. So in video 1, we looked at the arpeggios to the piece, we looked at the chords to the piece, and putting all that together. Now you can do this by just jamming by yourself, experimenting with the chords and things. So I'm just going to play a little bit first, and then I'll break it down and we'll look at how I do this. So I'm going to play a small bass solo and use a bit of the chords, a bit of stuff from the first lesson and some new things from this lesson, and then we'll start to break it down. I'll show you how I get around the piece and the tonalities which I'm using. So here goes. from there, that's just playing around. There's a couple of little missed notes in there, but that happens when you're soloing sometimes, guys. So yeah, what the main crux of what I was doing there, I was looking at the C minor 7. So I was playing on the C minor 7 to the F minor 7, to the D minor 7 flat 5, G 7 flat 9, C minor 7. Now all of those chords there in the first 8 bars of this piece come from the E flat major scale. The next 4 bars we get the D flat major scale. So because we've got the 2 chord, which is the E flat minor 7, the A flat 7 is a 5 chord, to the D flat major 7, which is the 1 chord. Then the next 4 bars we're back again into the E flat major. I'll demonstrate that. D flat major 7. Back to the E flat major 7. So we'll take that away again. I'm staying in the chord to show you. Oops. Back to E flat. So there, I added a few little extra things in there. If you noticed on the G7th chord, I put in this diminished scale here, so it's semitone from the G. We can then take that right back to there. So I was just using that on the dominant chord, which is the G7th chord, but mostly I was sticking around the E flat major for the first 8 bars, D flat major for the next 4 bars, back to the E flat major for the next 4 bars. And if you practice on that, I've done this as an example, so it's not really how I would play bass solo as such, but I was just playing around on the scale tones which fit into those chords. So see if you can have a go at that. See if you've just got the E flat major scale and the D flat major scale. Use the PDF which I've given you and try to find the backing track to this if you can, and just play those chords, or I should say those scales, over the chord changes and see how it sounds and see how it feels. And you'd be surprised, using a simple approach like that, you can start to build up bass solos, especially if you've learnt the melody as well. Incorporate a little bit of the melody into that as well. So I hope that was of some use to you. And don't forget to check out more of my lessons at www.darrengloverbassandguitarlessons.com, and also click subscribe on my YouTube channel, please, and then you can find out lots more lessons just like this one. So thanks for listening again. I'm Darren Looks.